They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
Antoine Winfield up from the secondary with a tackle.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Carr. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes you're fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
A first down carry by Elliott. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Again, it's Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
50 boxes, 50 boxes, 19 right. Left wing 19, 50 boxes, 50 boxes.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
In there to drop it for the loss, linebacker Nakobe Dean, an outstanding play.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
This is intercepted.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A handoff left, Elliott.
Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Clock running under a minute to go in a scoreless first quarter. From the 29, Hurts flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. They go play action with Hurts. They'll roll him out right. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but when you get up the 0 for 4 range, that can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back, even with just 1 throw.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. Hurts. Now the ball comes loose. Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over the sideline. There's head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it. Field goal time.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now Carr. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
There's Chris Olave. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 9 yards that time.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 44-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And now this one may draw a penalty. He just blindly threw that one to the sideline. And yep, indeed, the flag is out. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now Carr.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Complete. It's Johnson. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 28. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Carr now on 1st down.
He completes it to Olave.
Touchdown, Saints.
Chris Olave,
28 yards.
And the Saints have taken the lead.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
DeMarco Jackson, the man to bring him down defensively.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
From the 27, Hurts.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. A give to Elliott running left. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground.
And going the books is a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
They were trying to set up a screen there, but that one just too slow in developing.
Yeah, too slow in developing and well read because that ends up being a bad feeling for the quarterback. When he's got no blocking in front of him, his guys are just going to let defenders go, and they're coming for him. So if it's not there, you just got to throw the ball on the turf at your running back's feet.
They'll drop to throw. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Here's Aaron Simbas now.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete there to Johnson. Finding room at midfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. Nobody's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Carr.
Got an open man. It's Olave.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Carr now on 1st down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st half.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. 2nd half action back underway.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work to run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, it may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. That is a tough way to start the 3rd quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
And the Saints are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Oh, I think there was a little too much heat on that one. He's trying to hit his running back out of the backfield. Normally you want to get the ball to them in stride. But here, this one's coming in hot. And it tips off his hands and into the arms of the defender.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. From the 41, Carr. He gets this one to Johnson.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards on the play. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Well, they got the turnover and were able to drive it down, Charles, but ultimately in the end, the defense holds up and they only come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of ground, but when they had to, they settled in and prevented the interception from leading to 6 points. Because you never want to see turnovers turn into any type of points against you. It's better to give up 3 than 6.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Goddard. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott.
And this is going to be an Eagles 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Doesn't matter whether it's zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Throwing is Hurts.
And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Eluding the pressure right. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
19 right. 19.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
Being chased out left. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, a 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And as a fan of the NFL, not much more you could hope for in this divisional round matchup. Tie game, 4th quarter. A lot of these fans with their hearts in their throats waiting to see what happens here. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
To try again after the sack. Carr. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
50
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts.
Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
By the way, you'd be looking at about a 47-yarder from here as they come up on an important third down.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
Out to his left. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now Elliott. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
19 strikes, 19 strikes.
2nd down and goal. Hurts.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired. Well, he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest game we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
A big one coming in this divisional round playoff. 3rd and goal. Hurts.
Steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Disastrous outcome there on 3rd and goal. They lose 9 yards on the sack. The kick by Elliott is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the fourth quarter, the divisional round, and they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
That'll put him north of 100 yards receiving now in this divisional round game. And it's a first down. Shotgun now for Carr. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
I'm not sure I'm absolutely crazy about that play call there. I mean, it's only a one-score game, so is it really time to go bombs away and try and make a big play? I think you can take some underneath stuff and still move it downfield.
Okay, great.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Another carry tonight for the workhorse, Elliott. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11.
Dragon 60. 7 Pirates. 7 Pirates. Buffalo 18. 19 Lions.
Here's Hurts to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
Oh, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Over the middle, complete. That's Elliott. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So a big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. This to swell the lead to 6. The kick by Elliott is good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Carr's throw caught by Olave.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
That's Olave bringing in another one. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Here's Carr. Tries the left side and finds Olave. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their #1 receiver.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be ready for that. That time they weren't. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game.
Carr to throw.
And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds. So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And they have got the lead. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball.
And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
And the Saints season will march on as we say thanks for watching and so long.
My Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the richest, heart in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we were not to ride nobody way, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits.